All right, so man, I got something I gotta get off my chest. So, we see what is taking place this week within the last 24 hours. Lincoln Riley goes to USC. Brian Kelly goes to Notre Dame, and I can't believe what I'm hearing. We literally have people saying that Brian Kelly is going to be more successful at LSU in the SEC than Lincoln Riley's going to be at USC in the weak Pac-12. What are y'all smoking? Are you serious? Are we talking about the same Brian Kelly who is unable and incapable of putting together a game plan in any big game he's ever coached? Are we talking about the same Brian Kelly who has no history of competing in conference championships because he coached that team with no conference, and now you think he's just going to show up to the SEC and take down Kirby, Jimbo? Now you got Billy Napier and Nick Saban? Are you nuts? Oh, and then to add insult to injury, Oklahoma, Texas, and UCF will be in the SEC within the next 2-3 seasons. And you think this is not even a debate on who's a better coach. This is a debate on people saying Brian Kelly move to LSU was a better move than Lincoln Riley move to USC. Let's break it down. Brian Kelly, not only can you not coach in big games, you're going to where the big dogs live. And every week is a big game in the SEC, baby. You're going to a conference that is totally and completely stacked. You're going to a conference to where they have two teams who are going to be competing in the college football playoffs every single year. Lincoln Riley, on the other hand, he's leaving a place where he had great success. I think he won 5 championships there. Not national, but conference. Big 12 championships there. And he's going to USC. And the SEC, you got to beat Saban. You got to beat Alabama. You got to beat Georgia. You got to beat Florida. And there are some years where you got to compete with Auburn. And you definitely got to compete with Texas A&M. Who in the world does Lincoln Riley have to beat in order to get to the playoffs at USC? Nobody. Oregon. That's it. Oregon. So you're meaning to tell me that you think that Brian Kelly is going to beat Nick Saban, Jimbo Fisher, and the University of Florida, and Kirby Smart and Georgia before Lincoln Riley beats Oregon? Man, get out of here, man. First of all, Lincoln Riley's move to USC was a genius move. Why stay at Oklahoma when you know that Oklahoma is getting ready to go to a conference where they may not ever be relevant again? Instead of staying there where I have to have bloodbaths with Saban and Kirby and Fisher and just every other team in the SEC, why not go to USC, an organization who has awesome and phenomenal muscle memory because they've been great before? Go there. Not only is the institution great, but the barrier of entry into the college football playoffs is significantly lower than the barrier of entry to get into playoffs if you're coaching in the SEC. Put it on record. Lincoln Riley will have a far better career in USC than Brian Kelly will have at LSU. Brian Kelly he's going to have a whole lot of sleepless nights. And let me address another thing. Will y'all quit with this narrative that says that Brian Kelly wasn't able to get recruits at Notre Dame? Who's telling you that? Are the educational requirements a little bit steeper than other schools? Of course they are. However, did you know that Notre Dame, specifically under his reign, is constantly in the top 15, top 20 recruiting class? I mean, y'all talking about freaking Notre Dame as if they walking in with no recruits at all, man. Stop. They out-recruit Florida State. They out-recruited Florida the last couple seasons. What are y'all talking about, man? Notre Dame may not have Alabama caliber athletes, but guess what? Hardly anybody in the SEC has Alabama caliber athletes. Brian Kelly is not going to magically show up to LSU and start out recruiting Nick Saban and Kirby Smart and Jimbo Fisher, who's already been in the SEC and recruiting high school talent from the South for the last half a decade. So he's just, or plus. So Brian Kelly just going to show up with nothing great on his resume from Notre Dame. He didn't win the championship. And you don't go to Notre Dame just to win 10 games. You go to Notre Dame to win a championship. And he did not deliver. But you're saying that under tougher circumstances, battling against tougher coaches and better teams on a weekly basis, that Brian Kelly is going to somehow metamorphosize into this Bear Bryant caliber of a coach. Man, get out of here. Get out of here. Lincoln Riley, much better success at USC than Brian Kelly at LSU. This is the hot button. I'll holler at you.